Hi everyone. I will be making today is a stream that I wasn't planned, but at yesterday I didn't stream it, so I thought about doing that today. I just will try to get the chat open here because for some reason my my YouTube can't load the chat here. Just 1 minute trying here. to- Okay, think if I can come here and open the stream, maybe I can get the chat. The chat. Yeah. Open another window. Can I close here? Great. And just 1 minute here. Okay. Great. So let's continue from where we stopped at last stream. Just let me check here. Just okay. The audio is working, and let's continue our project here. Engine SRC. If I remember well, it maybe it's I have some file named core. Yeah, core.cpp. No, I don't want to create engine core.cpp. Yeah, this it exists. So I was thinking a little about our game engine, and uh, with my searches, I decided some changes that or not. Yeah, it's better. Some changes in our architecture. And let me remember Excalibur. Okay, I had explained for at the last stream, but at the second stream, I think that we'll be using a modular architecture, something, oh, something like something like it, something like that here, and just another here. I think I can select them and come a little bit closer. So the I was thinking a little about how we'll be doing our architecture. And just here, until the yesterday stream, the plan was to do something like that. That is here the editor. Here's the editor. Here is the entry point, and these are these two are the executables. So let's change the colors and just I'm here and right. executables. These are these here are the executables. Here is the engine. I want white. The engine that is .dll slash .so. And here is the game that is also dot. In that case, it will be a .lib or a .a. That was the old architecture of our game engine. Now I was thinking a little about of it, and I decided to remove this entry point. So I don't remember which is the control. Oh, I can do that. Here I decided to remove this entry point and make something like that. Just change here, make it points that, and the editor will continue be linked to the engine, but the engine will be on DLL. The game also will be a DLL. In that case, the game was a DLL also. I made it wrong. It was a DLL. But if that is the organization of the game engine while at development, but at the case of the we are working with the final release state of our engine will be that here. And check, the game will be static linked, so here it will be a lib or .e, and the engine will be the executable executable. So with that, we can make the game static linked to the engine, making a single binary for us. It will be, it have a little bit of extra performance, not something that we have to care, but we'll be removing a lot of overhead and other things to care about with things that we don't have to care in a release state of our game. And it's a simpler architecture that help us a lot. So it will be in that way. With that in mind, we have to, and first I just want to test one thing, that is using namespace engine. I think that's possible. And for example, now I can first move that. Yeah. I just will do that. In reality, for now, let's just let the old way. And the project peer run, remove. Another thing here. Okay, we have an engine, we have an entry point, and we have a Mason build. We need to do some changes at our Mason build. I will be make some modules. I will be modularizing our Mason build, dividing it in some build scripts, separated build scripts. For example, at here, I will be making, I'm thinking here about, I would be wanting to add an examples folder or samples folder for some games that we can use to test our engine, and we can use also then to help anyone that want to learn how the engine is working. And I also want to create the editor project and make the engine a separated project too. So to start with it, I'm thinking here, and we need the first thing that we can do is to add another folders here. Subdirectories, I think that is the name of it at the Mason. Let's check the reference and command line commands. Yeah, I will be also using that in future, but not now. Cross and native file reference versus native environment build targets. I think, yeah, we'll be using a little bit of that. So include direct styling identity environment transportation build options subprojects. So it's not a sub project that I want. I want a subger. Uh, Let's start. Just start here. So we'll be you having um let's create here a folder named samples, and inside samples we'll be having a oh, I have to space toggle big. I need to name the big mode. Sorry about that. Let's create here a folder named samples, and inside samples we'll be having a Mason build. And yes, for now we wouldn't be using that Mason build. And I also want to do the same thing, but we'll be having a folder named editor, and inside editor we'll be creating another Mason dot build here, and I want to I can use here. I think I can. I want to move the src folder to be named as engine flash. Yeah. Let's see. No, 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 no. The move command here doesn't work as I expected. So, and we need to make that change here, also here. And it's just we just need to change the name here to be not src but engine. The engine, yeah, that is what we want. And now we just need to create a folder a file inside engine named mason.build. Oh, I make it wrong again. I don't want to create a folder here. I made it right or I made it wrong? I think it's right now. Yeah, we have created a lot of entry point, a lot of Mason builds. In reality here, and now basically now we need to start breaking that our monolithic Mason build. Basically, now we have to create just a little of chains. For example, here is the engine project. And I'm thinking about the name of the engine, and I still doesn't have much sure about how we'll be naming the engine. So I'm thinking yet about it. And here we'll be letting getting the dependencies because it's needed. We also need to have the include here, but now it's at the previous folder. Engine lib dependencies. And here we doesn't need that src, and I will be adding here the executable. Here wouldn't is will be just a library. And to finish here, we have to make that. Okay, I think it will be working. What we did, but it was basically we get our everything we had outside of this at this route here and trans- transferred it to the new new point. But here it will be an engine underline exec, because the return type of that methods can be used at any 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 part of our code of our build system. So with that, linked with, okay, everything is okay now. At here at the old project, I don't know if I have to. I have to. Um, how do I say that? For example, I'm thinking about we have to do something like create a project name for that specific Mason build. No, it's not here. Let's see. Study. Okay, disable modules. Maybe. it's a module that we what we are wanting. No, build options. No, just create build but it also a great thing we can check to see if it have some using build options we need some way to know the level of optimization and built-in options. Yeah, that is what I want. And localization, new generating sources, not what I'm thinking. Executable, custom target, generating headers, generating multiple file at a time using generator, not feature auto detection, precompiled headers. It's interesting, but not for now. External commands, threads, dependencies, maybe. Dependencies executable, have multiple dependencies, okay. We can file the derivatives, it can go ways. Dependencies that provide resource files, declare your own, include static library, declare built-in dependencies as sub-projects. System built-in, configure config tool. I want to chat to test one little thing here. First first of all, where is the here is the original. Let's see what happens if I try to build it. It worked, but I don't know if it worked because it doesn't have anything. So let's make a little change here. Let's return with our log here that prints our delta time. And check. Oh, it's modified, but because I had changed it. Yeah, it doesn't. I think it doesn't working. Let's clear. Okay, so after that, let's set up our project. And now let's test build and run. No such file or directory. Okay, so that what isn't working. I think I have to come here and pass a subgear named engine. And after that, a subgear named editor. And after a subgear named samples. I think was that. Yeah. Okay, after samples, I think we can remove that and just build and run. Subcommand failed. Just clear, just set up. Oh, Invalid 33. First statement must be called a project. Okay, I had the second project call. Can I have multiple projects, or it have to be a single project? Mm, Everything project. It's the syntax of a project. The first function is initialize. The first argument to the function will be string. Define the name of the project name can be any you want. It's not used for accept the script cover since written to accept dependencies. The language can be used both native files for its machine, the supported language values for language for C++, cool, the Python D, Object-C, or Fortran, Java Sharp, Swift, NAS. Okay. Default options, license files, and Mason version sub project year. I specify the top level directory name that holds Mason sub projects. Project name. Okay. So we can come here and comment here. And it's building. And with that, we can start creating more sophisticated systems and start trying doing something with that more sophisticated systems. I'm thinking about, and maybe our first goal of this game engine will be creating a Pong game, a simple 2D Pong, and setup is done. Run. And I think it will be working. And sorry about the FPS. I'm thinking the stream is. Oh, the engine now is a directory. Let's explore now the build, how it's working. Now it has directory for everything. The engine has its own directory where it has the executable and has some static linking in the library. Interesting. And with that, I think that we can start doing our plan and checking how we have planned it. Basically, we can maintain creating the static linked game. I have to think a little bit about it, a little about it. So let's continue here. And now we know that doesn't we doesn't need here, and the include here, I think that we can just define here and delete it. Also, okay, we have to create some. Let's check if it's work with the include here defined at the top. Yeah, it works, but we have to make some updates in our just script. Yeah, it's working, and just finish our test. Let's see here. Project engine core.cpp. Yeah, it's working. Okay, can close it. For now, we just need to create our check-in to see if the engine will be a lib or it will be an executable. So in reality, I'm thinking I will let it in that way. And if it I s- I get some the slow builds, I can come back here and change, because it's better to doesn't make over engineering. Oh, I had some Mason LSP time ago. Sure, at the end, at the flake, add Mason LSP. In reality, it will be a build, change build organization. Okay. By now, it will be that. And I just want to check what we have. I need to remember a little bit, because I wasn't working that project for something like 2 days, and I don't remember where we stopped here. Okay, I can see we have a logger, an engine, a core. Oh, okay. We are starting to think in scenes. Okay, now I remember. But yeah, if I'm correct, I was creating an architecture that the scene will be handling the entities inside it, and will not be having a global registry, and yet uh, a lot of micro registry in our ECS that are loaded with based in our scene manager. Okay, now I'm remembering. So here the scene manager, yeah, the scene manager has an ordered map that will be handling our every scene that we had. And here we have scenes. Okay. And a scene will be needing to have a registry. Oh, here it's loggers. Yeah, and found it. Later I will be reading, but it will here that documentation, but it will be off stream. Okay, let's return here. And we need the registry. Okay. Name that means includes headers and everything. The headers road and use it. For those are non-identity competencies considering so. Okay. Let's include here the end, and we need our std node and registry. Oh, and let me check here. Okay, the and at that example they created a registry and create a, in that case, create 10 entities, and for each entity they add a position and a velocity component. But and after that they call an update method for the registry. So we need some update in our we need a lifetime in our scene, and everything behind that scene will be handled by that scene lifetime. For example, when the scene set up, everything that's set up alongside the scene will be set up. When the scene is updated, everything will be updated, and when the scene is destroyed, everything behind the scene will be also destroyed. So we need to create that lifetime. I think here the core can see which lifetime I had. Setup, it will be a simple void setup, avoid update, and avoid destroy. Okay. With that in mind, oops. Basically, the update and thinking about it, yeah, it's just that. And we also need an entity, and which is the entity type of the ent void. Let's create entity. Let's just test here, and oh no, it's this registry dot create. It's great. Yeah, it's create. Which type that it returns? Entity type. And what is an entity type? It's a type name for traits type, value type. And a value type is an uint 32 or a uint 64. Okay. So, but I wouldn't be having just returning the ID. I want to make the API easiest as possible. So for now, to do, let's mark that as to do. And even better, entity. Just to have a mark here. And reality, let's just implement that. And we can stop here and continue implementing the ECS abstraction. Or even better, let's just go to the ECS abstraction. I'm here at the scenes, so I need to go back one folder, and here I want to create an ECS folder, and here I will be creating the entity.hpp. Yes, I want to create it, and the entity.hpp will be will be having a class named entity, and the class named entity will be having here we'll needing to include the ent/ent.hpp because it will be having a private and it has an entity, but it's an enum. I need, which is the type? I forgot what the command, I forgot what the command returns. Let's just create here this registry dot create, and let's check the definition. It returns an entity type. And entity. Oh, okay. It doesn't have an entity type. Const entity. Okay. So for that's an entity. And internal. That it will be named internal. The entity, we have some things here. Okay. Okay. We need some way to Let's check here the documentation, configuration, cooperative scheduler, and component system crash course, design decisions, and here the reg, the engine, and the component. The given entity. And same components of our entity first last. If engineer has given component, they replace and patch member function templates is to be updated. The all off or any off or any off erase. Basically, what the user will be doing using the registry, our goal is to abstract using the entity so we can make something easier for the user to think. It will be more like the Unity way of thinking. So and while the user does the way of the thinking of something like a component-based game engine, uh, behind the scenes, the engine acts like a ECS engine. That's what I think should do. So we need some public methods here, but the engine can't be created normally, at least. So how can we do that? It will be... I think I can't run of creating a constructor here. And oops. The destructor will be a default destructor. Okay. But now thinking better, it will be hard doing in that way because the registry is used a lot of in a lot of places. Yeah, it will be used in a lot of places here. I'm thinking, yeah, it's better for us to doesn't create that, oh, that ECS thing and just let the user to have access to the registry. It will be a better way. So can we make the registry public? Or it's better for us to have more control about it? I think that we can make it public. So here we have a scene class that it has a registry, and we can use that inside our setup, update, and destroy. Great. But it also has its own issues now because I will be passing a lot of things here. it will be good to have something like a context. And that will be public, yeah? I think, yeah, it will be public. We have created the API here. Let's go to the let's create the implementation of that scenes, and we also have to think about the scene manager and see and check how we doing the things here. When it loads a scene, an ordered map, and no, that scene manager, but when I unload the scene, I'm wanting to remove it from the memory. Yeah, let's think more about it. So we have also to create the scene manager. So let's go edit dot engine, inside engine scenes slash scene manager dot cpp. Yes, and we also need edit the scene dot cpp. And here we have to do some engine slash scenes slash scene.cpp. It's not scene.cpp. Scene.hpp. Oh. And here it's engine slash. But I also need to update here. And also add scenes. And here also at scene.hpp. Great. Now here at scene manager, let's just copy it. For now, using namespace for now the here I also use the scene manager engine scenes it's just manager manager. Okay, manager. It's saying okay. Great. Now here for now we'll be just create a new scene and just adding the ID of the scene and creating a basic scene, an empty scene, because we don't have something like a XML or a JSON file or binary file where we save the scene. So for now, we'll be just doing, we'll be receiving the string ID, and I will be creating a scene, 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 scene. And I think the constructor I require the I also I record the ID here, and I return the std optional scene. It's something like that. I never used the std optional before. I need to check how to do it. But before returning it, we need to come here and add it to the scene manager list. So this here at the loaded scenes will be inserting it. Oh, we need to do an std, and oh, I can't remember. It's index. No, it's not index. What it expects. Node type std node type identity type info. Oh, I can't remember how it is to. Okay, we have to search two things at the CPP reference. CPP ref unordered map, and also CPP ref optional. Here at the unordered map, I need to check the insert and come here to the examples, and the insert is implemented as insert. Okay, make pair. Yeah. So at std make underline pair. The key will be the ID, and the value will be the scene. Now we had some issue. It wants to everything to have to be a reference. Okay. Why it's complaining? It's a bug, or it's really complaining? It's a bug. No, it's really complaining. Okay, but I also found an issue here. It will be needing that to be a pointer. So std operator unique pointer scene is equal as std make unique, and here it will be a scene, and here I prefer to use just auto. Great. Here I will be changing it to std unique pointer of a scene, and here at the optional it will be a reference of an std unique pointer of a scene. Great. But now I need to understand why I can't use the std make pair. Can I do in that way? Clang of member function in call, no match member function or call to insert. So it's saying that the node type is wrong, but the node type is an std string, and I insert here the std string. Why it's complaining? It's not a reference here. Yeah. Why it was giving me that issue? Insert const value type, template, iterator, template. Let me check here. Let's see the optional later, and later we check the other thing. Return. Oh, it's simple. And here we also need to update our method because it's outdated here, and we can return our scene. I didn't understand. It must work. Maybe it's that I'm having that word situation because I hadn't added here to the build. So, and I think I can do a bit of formatting here, make it more readable. So it will be at engine slash scenes, scene manager, and engine slash scenes slash scene.cpp. Okay, compilation exceeded. We had the issues that we have the issues here. Initiation class std optional scenes credit for here static assertion failed is objective v forming pointer reference in member function std unique load scenes string no matching function to call on not unordered map. Could not convert scene just the unique pointer scene. Oh, I hadn't. Okay. First, I think I have to just let it here. Because as what what I can see here is that I don't need to add create some value with that. Maybe if I try to do optional and if I try to do something like that, it's possible. No, it doesn't have a constructor, I think. Yeah. Maybe it needs to move the object. Yeah, fairly. It's first. Oh, okay. It needs to have the object. So it can't be a unique pointer in our case. We need to make that as a shared pointer. Shared pointer, and here we can make it shared, and we need to change everything because the std optional requires to have the ownership of the data with what I understand. Yeah, I made that update and we already got something less errors here. I it can be converted. No. Unique use const count. We can use, I think, maybe std move. No, I don't know how we can return that type. Just to check if it works. If it had to work, yeah, it technically work. The pointer representing between a member type note error occurred here. Why I'm getting that error? Forming pointer to reference type std share. Oh, it since it will be a shared pointer. I also don't need, yeah, I don't, it doesn't need to be a, how do I say that? It doesn't need to be a reference to it. Yeah, and it worked. And now I think I can make the std make pair. I think I can change that to the std make pair. Yeah, it works. Great. But with that, how can I make sure that when I decided to unload a scene, it will be really unloaded? Because in that case, I'm using a shared pointer, and at least the reference counting of the shared pointer goes to 0. I don't know if it's possible to me make it be removed from the memory. CPP guarantee that I'm thinking maybe unique checks where the manage operator. Yeah, we have some issues here. I can mark scene as unloaded. Yeah, For now, download the scene. It's just come here and erase the ID. But and also, before we even erase the ID, that will be our last thing that we'll be doing. Here we'll be getting the loaded scenes dot at ID, and that will be returning our unloaded scene. But also, first of things, we'll be checking if this loaded scenes dot contains, if it contains an ID. If it doesn't contain an ID, I just want to return. Okay. And now this loaded scenes at ID, I want to call the destroy of it. Or maybe better, I need to create something like a destroy pool. So, but let's just create a to-do here. To-do. Create a destroy pool, no. Destroy key to be cleaned at the end of the frame. For now, we will just be doing that. Just be doing that way. And by that, it's already a good system for us at that situation. But it would be also a good thing to add not a load scene that we define an ID, a get scene that is a const, also we can guarantee that we wouldn't be changing that ID. I'm saying that it will be a const, and here will be creating our function. That's the okay, we need to return here. And what we'll be returning is this loaded scenes. Why I got an issue? Oh, manager, and here now I can get the const here. Yeah, these loaded scenes at ID. Okay, I also can have here it to be a const, making that also a const, and I think I have to change here. I will be changing it just to have sure. But before that, I also have to make that check if this loaded scenes dot contains, if doesn't contains the ID, I want to return nothing. Great. With that, we can load a scene, get a already loaded scene by its ID, and we can unload that scene. At future, we'll be wanting some extra features like, for example, get the list of scenes IDs that we have, but for now, I will be letting that way. And here, these two I will be including at the header file. In reality, just the memory, because I use in the memory here a lot. Okay. In reality, we just need that destroy key to make sure that it's to be impossible to the current scene to be unloaded, because we doesn't want that to be to lose the current scene. Let's also add words to unload. It doesn't unload the active scene. We have that to do's. Let's check if it compiles. Great. And let's let's start this scene here. Using namespace scenes. Okay, for now, I wouldn't be doing much here. I just thought, think, just thinking about a little bit, and it will be a good idea to create some tracking here. For example, I can have a bool is active, and I can have another bool and name it market to delete. Oh, just is active. It's a good thing to have here. And with that, we can come here at the loaded, come here and also check, can have the scene here. We can get the scene and destroy. But if this, if scene is active, Now we have to do something with that. And it will be, we need to check what we'll be doing in that case. First, we return. We have sure and we'll be logging. It's an engine error or it's a game error? I think it's a game error because the developer will be trying, but who is raising the error is the engine. So it will be a core error. Scene ID can't be unloaded. It's impossible to unload an active scene. And maybe we can add some like std expect that to return an error message or something like that. I think it's the name, it's really std expect. Let's check it. Std expected. No, std expected can return type or error. And can create an enum scene error. Or better, we can just make it return a bool. And return a bool here will be returning true. Bool return false. And return, or maybe he here it's a return false or a return true. Because if we doesn't have the scene, it doesn't, it's already loaded, but let's make it false. Oh, I can't make that. It's a trash implementation. Let's just create an enum for the errors here inside. Errors. Enum error. Scene not loaded. And scene is active. And we'll be returning the error. Here the type will be manager error. Return error is scene not loaded. Error is scene is active. Oh, in reality, now we need to return an std expect, or at least an std optional, because we have it's optional for us to. It's better thinking about Rust. The Rust way will be, we'll have to return something like, and thinking in Rust that something will be doing something like that in Rust. That is was nothing in the success case and maybe an error. It's the complete class options may or may not be present. Yeah. So CPP ref std expected. The class template provides a way to represent either of two values, an expected value t or an expected value of type e. Expector is never valueless. And yeah, it says never values. Inspector. So I think we have to return to have a valid return. I can make something like std expected. So std expected with that, and here I can make a void pointer to 0, a void pointer to 0. Yeah. Hashtag include expected. No, I can't do that. Yeah, I can't do that. Okay. So let's just use an optional. It's a optional. It's optional to return an error type std optional, and here I will be returning nothing. Yeah, empty return. Great. With that, we can return an error value, and now just here I want to get the update and see the end example of the update of theirs. Mm. By what I'm seeing here, it has to update, to call the update of every entity in a view. Yeah, I have to think more about how are you being integrating the end at the engine, because yeah, I want to have the update of this like that we can filter, make a filter of which entities will be updating, which systems will be updating, and that. But I also need some way of because that it's a system. In reality, we are getting the system here because we have a component. Like here, we are creating our entities, and that is the system. I want to have something like system list that with the system list we can get the systems and call the systems to update themselves. So call this update of the systems because the systems that have to make a filter about what they will be creating here, what they will be creating. But I also think here I remember to read that it has a lifetime. To create a member functions also accepts a hint. Release valid current version and place. Insert. Already has the given component in place. All off. Register all off. Erase. Remove. Clear. Registry.clear. Reference the component. By default, each storage comes with a mixing of heads. Yeah. Auto bind, don't need to create binds manually. Of every time, entity life cycle. Yeah, we have to create something like system pools, something like that. So for now, we can't do much here. We have to think more about. Here it's new, also new, or I already made some comment. I already made some comment about it. Okay. The feed engine slash things. Okay, let's push. And I have one little thing that I want to stop and do here. I saw while I was reading this repo that it has a CLang title and a CLang format. I want to add that to the project we're doing to make it a little more usable. And I never used that CLang. Let's check the CLang title and CLang format. Here it's just a blog. Post. It's not. Link title, aluno checks, config file, dump config. Enable checkout, exclude, explain config, fix error. Someone probably have made some config builder for select tidy. No? I think I'm wrong. I will just yank a little of the content of the ant clang dot clang slash format. Oh, great! I can have a base base style and just set what I want to change. Select title is the same. I will just yank it and check if it will say something. It will be warned about something that I want to maintain in our code. Avoid magic numbers. Ignore all float point values. No. Ignore power of true integer. Yeah, okay. Allow partial move. Okay. Ignore unnamed params. Allow missing move functions. Allow missing move functions when copy is deleted. Allow solo deletor. Ignore classes with all member variables being public. Ignore public member variables. Allow string arrays. For now, no. Performance enunciate and non-ignore list. The ability function ignore macros. We use the macro, and I think that's macro has its issues, but I will let in it. Yeah, I think ignore all magic numbers, ignore all float point values. No, I already deleted. Okay. And here I have one little thing that I hate that is by default, and that is that. I don't know allow short blocks on a single line, break before braces. Insert new lines at the end of file, pointers alignment. Okay, let's check how that will be working. Maybe I have to reset the LSP and come back here and see. Oh, it already showed me something. Yeah, it's that what is that what I want? It has more warnings here. Magic number. Yeah, or is that what I want? And if I run, oh, I think the my formatter doesn't read the ceiling formatter, or maybe format. Yeah, because it's my dream to have something like that. Oh, it failed to run. Some file name. Oh, oops. Style sort modified offset. File load. Hmm. Lines, files. Assume file name. Yeah, I have to see later more, but just come here. I had to make default default and delete this destructor. And let's check what's the issue here. Oh, right. Because here I'm converting an unsigned long to double. And also here. So let's make our a little, let's say, house cleaning. Because how many hours we are stream? Oh, just 43 minutes. No, almost 2 hours. Let's make some house cleaning at the end. Later, I will check why my Emacs is having issues with the CLang format and static cast. I will be casting here to double. Also static cast here to double. Const expert const. I think it's const init the better. Sex to milli. Sex to milli. It's a const double. not a const init. Yeah, maybe it's a const expression. Yeah, it's a const expression. What I want. Sex to MIDI. Where we have some. Here we're not using much of that. It's most it's most debug thing. So and let's check the errors. Oh, here we have some of them here. Oh, const ex const expression inch default window widget equals 800, and here will be a default window height that is equals 600, default window widget and default window height. Later we'll be changing that. Great. A lot of things that the ceiling tide is complaining. Oh, okay. It's just asking to make it a reference. And it's a good thing that I have. It was better if I had made it earlier. Because sometimes I I forgot to check how go here, there. And when users larger base and sign in insights for byte and security values are considered using 1 byte as the base type to reduce its enum size. Convert to scoped enum. For now, because we'll be having maybe for now we'll be letting that way. And now here. Oh, it elaborability. Okay, I will accept that. I'm like to use statements like that, but I will accept that it's better for readability just using the braces. Okay, the constructor of the asset store need to be converted to a default here. Here I can make that a const and a reference for the ID. And here I can make it const and a reference. Yeah, but I can't do much about it. The better that I can do is to reorder that in that way, as expecting. Yeah, maybe it works. Now I have to go here to the entry point, argv, unuse it yet, but I'll be letting it. And to finish it, I just have to check. Oh, here it will probably will have something. There, Conch Express templates. Maybe I check it later if it's better. Oh, I think I hadn't opened the scene here. Yeah. If I have understood it, want that pass it by value and use here an std move. Yeah. Oh, and here. But that's right, I want it to be public visible. So I. Oh, sorry. I had to come here again. CPP guidelines slash non-private public. CPP core guidelines slash prototype union class member init const cast. Oh, now I understand. CPP core guidelines slash TPP core guidelines slash non slash private slash not slash no dash non-private member dash variables dash in dash classes. Great. No. TPP core guidelines. TPP core guidelines non-private member non-private member variables in classes. Passo code X. Oh, sorry. D code X. And I couldn't copy it. Great. Later I will be checking it how it works. But I'm also want oh maybe it's that here. Make it doesn't update. Yeah, I think it worked. It's working now and I already checked everything here. Great. The only thing that we need to do is to run the format. I want to format it following the file and every file. Excellent. No. The length dash format. Checking here. Yeah, I can pass files to it. So I can make engine. I can make that to anything inside engine. Invalid argument. Okay, clang. The clang slash format that I taken here has an issue. So I will be doing here. Okay. Open terminal, clang format style equal. Let me see again how it need to be called. Dash style equal. I use the Google style at my code slash dump dump slash no dash dash dump dash config, and I will be directing it to dot clang dash form dash format. Clang dash format language. I don't know if it's working, and that's the what I let's break some organization here. Yeah, now, but I continue hating that I need to come here and make it true. Yeah, no, whoa, that what I want. In reality, let me compare here one thing for, and let's come here at engine for, I think in documentary for, yeah, I use for spaces here is using two. I I need to find, oh, and for that, and it's ceiling tide, it will be, I need to make it -4, and some some place here I will be finding here ident width 4, and it's using tabs. Use tab never. Yeah, perfect. Iglot format. Iglot format. Yeah, way better. Way, no, much better. Great. But I want to create, to run. Oh, here. I want a way. For example, if I run that for everything that ends with CPP, okay, it just prints it at the screen. I want something that does. Just to check if, yeah, it I have sure that it doesn't run it everywhere. I need to away. When locate. I think if I use a dash I, yeah, worked. And what the change? Okay. Now that I made that for every.cpp, I will come here and change it to include and do that to every dot hpp. For example, asset store.hpp. Yeah, a lot of things changed. That changed. Great. Perfect. And let's come here. It will be a refactor. It's a project right refactor. House cleaning. Oh, house cleaning? No. No, house cleaning. Oh, it's better. Applying. 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 Yeah, it's applying. I was right. Applying new format and ceiling tidy fixes. Okay. And that is it for today, everyone. I will be finishing the stream now. The next stream will be the day after tomorrow, Monday. And thanks for watching and goodbye.